Hey everyone, this is Ultra Runner. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to take a look at the newly released Craftsman Toys Skybreaker. This is their version of IDW Ultra Magnets. Now I want to just kind of give you guys my initial thoughts on them, just because this is my second masterpiece scale Ultra Magnets that I have that's unofficial, and I'll definitely tell you this. You know, I've got a little bit of everything here, and I want to kind of walk through that with you guys. But just initial thoughts on this thing. To me, there's two kind of collectors. There is a collector who wants exactly what they grew up with, or what they viewed on TV, what they saw in the movies. Somebody who wants an original design. And then there's people typically who like stylized, kind of like what Flame Toys does with their Kara line. And for me, I've always been a stylized looks cool, but it's not really for me. I really want to go something as, you know, G1 accurate, kind of like the Studio Series 86, you know, the Blockies, Dr. Wu, you know, and their micro series, even Super 7, and this is the Magic Square that came, 2-pack that came with the 6-shot. And of course you have the original toy redone into the Missing Link series. And so I never really looked at the Flame Toy version as something I really like. IDW, didn't really read it. I thought the design for Ultra Magnus was pretty neat, but you know, it just wasn't for me. And that look of it was, I don't think really Flame Toys, for me personally, I didn't like the way it looked in general. It wasn't just done in a way that was either super accurate or super stylized. And then when this went up, I think it was December that this went up in the grayscale, and just in the grayscale, I was like, dude, I have got to get this. And I pre-ordered it the first time I saw it ready to go. And I'll tell you, now that I have it in hand, this is one of the absolute coolest figures I've ever had. And they've done a lot with this to make it, you know, their version of IDW. It's got they went heavy on the stylization, so it is very, very stylized, and I love every part of it. I mean, from his hammer, you know, looking like it's 2-pronged and a rocket ship, to the way the guns are, the towers, and then some of the little added bits they did because how Craftsman does stuff. But I'll definitely say this is probably the one that's going to sit on my desk until the Light Customs Fans Toys comes in, and I still got another year to wait on that. That guy's so behind. Well, not really behind. His waiting list was crazy because, you know, his cell shading and repainting is so in demand. But, you know, comparison size-wise, you know, you can see him next to the Studio Series 86 and then Missing Link. Missing Link is bigger than the Studio Series, so he's definitely bigger than those guys. You know, you got the Dr. Wu here, which is, for you guys who aren't familiar with Dr. Wu, this is a fully transformable micro series transformer. It is part former because you take it apart and put it together, but that's kind of how you have to do for it. And that's the Blockies, Super 7. You've got the Magic Square, which I think is probably the best looking Ultra Magnus straight up regular version of any one I've seen, including the Fan Toys, which I had the Fan Toys as well, and I'm waiting for him to get painted by Light Customs. This is easily, I think, the best looking Ultra Magnus to me. And then of course you got the toy version there, and of course you guys know I do have the masterpiece. I've got the Ultra Magnus and the Delta Magnus, but really the SS86 crushes it in so many ways. It's just not as big, but this is regular masterpiece scale. But what they've done, the stylization looks very Gundam-like, and you guys know I'm a huge Gundam fan, specifically Gundam Wing, and this looks like this could be heavy arms. I mean, it's cool. It's so cool looking. I really like the way it looks. And then they've done some really neat stuff to it, you know. So, you know, as with every masterpiece, it's fully posable. Fingers and everything are individual. You've got open and closing things here. So like here, this rocket panel, you know, shoulder right here goes up and down, which is kind of neat. The rockets here, shoulder cannons open and close, so you can have that concealed as well. See if I can do this with one hand. There you go. And then right here you have these turrets that open up as well. So, and these cannons, you can also, let me see if I can do this. I don't know if I can do it with one hand. They snap like this, there we go. And then you spin them, and you can have them firing forward, so like that. So you get this kind of, really kind of like a man-at-arms, you know, like I said, heavy arms from Gundam kind of look for everything. And then he, of course, which is kind of cool, has a matrix of leadership. I can open this up here with one hand. This is a little tough. There you go. Put this back down here. And he's got a matrix relationship that opens up in his chest, and it's die cast, and it's done super, super, super well. I mean, really cool. So again, you've got this really great, you know, take on them. I love the stylized version because they didn't go easy. They went very hard. So, and it cleans up pretty good in the back. So just come around back here, you know, backpack's decent. You know, it's got that rear kind of flap skirt piece. But across the board, and of course, you know, it's got some tampos on it. Paint, fit, and finish are second to none. I mean, it's definitely pretty strong. I mean, the gun's got paint on it and things like that. And one of the cool things about it is it actually lights up. So in the back of the gun here is a magnet that you can take out to touch at different points. And it's all button cell batteries, and it's like what is it, LR621s. And I think the other one was CR927s. And so it's got batteries that go in here and in here. So this little panel here pops out. Let me spin them here. So is that the side? Oh, you know what? That's the wrong side. No, that's the right side. So let me try to put this down. 1 second. All right, yeah, you go. That was kind of hard to do with one hand, but you take it out here, and then that's the battery holder right there with the LED. And you slide that puppy in and clicks in. And then you take the back of the head apart. There's a battery spot for it, and then there's a battery that goes inside the matrix as well. And so again, you can use the gun for that, but I actually use like an old name tag. And so if you just touch the battery here, you can see it light up, and if you open it up, you can see the light on the sides. If I do this one here, you can see it light up there. You touch behind his head, it lights up there, and if you just get near the chest, his matrix lights up. Like I said, very, very cool. Like I say, you know, pretty bright, and I wish the gun actually had, because I thought it lit up, but it does not. It'd be kind of cool if it did, but you know, just a nice little add to such a cool character. Because I mean, and a cool execution of the figure. So if I let me see if I can kill the lights for you guys to get a little bit better view. All right, with the lights out, so you can see just how bright they are. They're not super bright. I mean, his chest is crazy. His head is, I mean, crazy bright. I've got it sitting on my desk, and I can tell you it's pretty crazy how bright it is. I kind of have to like usually turn it off just because it's so bright. Let me fold this back up here. And again, I say the really well built, so you don't have to really worry about breaking anything. I know like a lot of masterpiece pieces, you kind of have to go, oh, I can't do this. You got to be careful, panels snap and things like that, because they're fragile. I mean, they're toys, but for like if you collect Hasbro mainline or anything like that at all, it's not that kind of toy. So, but yeah, it's like such a great execution. I'm gonna close his chest up, so even when the matrix is closed, and I'm gonna snap this one more time. Let me see if I can do that. All right, there, and that's like, so it's a pretty hard click, so getting on there. But you can see even with the chest closed, you do get a little bit of light through there. It's not super bright, but I'm assuming the matrix is not supposed to be on for there. And you can actually turn it on and off with the chest closed. So there's a two-stage for the lighting. There is a solid lighting look, and then if you touch it again, everything flashes. So if I touch his head again, or get near his head, that flashes. Oh, these went off already. There we go. So you can see it all flashes. So if you want that to me was kind of, ooh, I can't really do that, especially when it's dark in here. And then your next stage is just touch it and it all goes off. That's it. So it's like, you know, and one of those things where if you're not a big button cell person, you know, if you don't want to really do that kind of stuff, it's not the end of the world. But I do have them in my my 01 Studio cell, which is, you know, their version of Unicron, and I turn them on here and there, and I've had it for a couple years now, and you know, I check it for corrosion there, here and there, and no issues at all. Let me get the lights back on 1 sec. All right, now they got the lighting back on. So yeah, this is just kind of wanted to kind of show you that what that looked like, just in comparison to all these guys here. But for sure, this is definitely this is probably my favorite Ultra Magnets I've gotten so far. And like I said, I'm a huge, like I said, I love the Studio series. I think they definitely did better than the Masterpiece. Masterpiece has its pluses and minuses, but I think the Studio Series 86 version really fixed a lot of the issues it had. It's got its own, like a lot of people don't like the wide shoulders and stuff like that, but I'm really not that bothered by this. Again, you know, we get the blockies, which doesn't transform, so it's pretty ideal for that kind of, you know, kitty look. This is probably one of the better ones here. This Dr. Wu, their Ultra Magnus goes great, and honestly, this really goes great with the Stealth Studio, or even if you had a Unicron, the Hasselblad Unicron. The Dr. Wu series goes really good with them because that is the tiniest transformable Transformers out there. So if you really, I mean, granted, it's still not scale, but it actually does pretty well. Maybe I'll do a video with him and kind of putting him with Unicron, because I only have him, but I know a lot of people use the Blockies Defenders, the Defender line, which is a smaller version than those. That's another option as well. Again, the Super 7. Again, my favorite, you know, probably looking Transformer that I own is definitely this Magic Square piece. I think this thing is phenomenal. I'm sure until I get my painted fan toys back. But and just to kind of, I'm not gonna run through articulation stuff like that, because this is pretty standard, like on any Masterpiece, any Transformer. You've got, let's say you got individual fingers, which I think are better than the fans toys to me personally. You know, the articulation is great, no issues. The hip flaps actually can, if you stand them in an A pose, actually can lock into here. So you can actually move the hip skirts along with there. You've got the front skirt, and this is on the ball joint, so you can move it in any direction you want. He does have waist pivot and angle, so you can move him front and back. Let's see here. So you can move him, so he's leaned back like that, and then you can just lean him forward again. So yeah, he full articulation, no issues at all. Shoulders, butterflies, the whole nine. Like I say, just a great piece. And for any of you guys who are looking at something like this stylized, you like that line or like that look, this is my first Craftsman toy, so I definitely haven't bought, you know, dozens of these guys like, you know, some people have. But for my first experience with this, I got it from Shozi. Yeah, it came in, shipped pretty quickly once it dropped, and you know, arrived, no issues. No, the box was in great shape. I think I put the box up already, but yeah, just a good piece. Like I say, and I really like this version stylized. Like I say, it definitely combines some of my favorite things for Transformers, and my favorite, because as you guys know, clearly, if you hadn't seen anything other than it right now, you know I'm a Ultra Magnus fanboy. Like I said plenty of times, I saw the movie. The 86 movie was the first thing I saw at 12, and then I went back and started watching the rest of the show. So the new Transformers from season 3 were the ones I knew. So I was my first commander class, you know, you want to call that our first Autobot leader, you know, was Ultra Magnus, and he's been my boy ever since. I rock with him pretty hard. So, but yeah, I just want to kind of run through this guy with you guys real quick. For you, any of you guys who are interested, you know, if you have any additional questions or whatever, you know, let me know in the comments below. If you want to see more detailed video about him, please let me know as well. And also for the people who may ask, I didn't transform him into truck mode because I don't transform my Masterpiece Transformers. They typically ship to you, and for everyone I've bought so far, including my Takaras, and then this guy here and these guys here, which I need to do a video on in comparison. Those guys all ship in robot mode. So that's how I keep them. Now, if I buy a secondary copy, which I may do of the Galvatron and have them in gun mode or Cyclonus or something like that, but for the most part, I don't transform them because I don't want the paint to get scratched. I don't want to break a panel, which I don't think with this guy, he's as bad because his plastic feels way tougher than Fansoids. But if you guys have ever handled a Masterpiece Transformer, you know the quality is better, but it's definitely not as dense as this. It's not designed to be played with. So I won't be transforming him, but I know TM Reviews has done a video on him about and he's done a full transformation, stuff like that. So yeah, let me know, guys, know if you have any more questions about him or whatever. But yeah, picked him up from Show Z. He's still available last time I checked, and what a great addition to your Style Transformers. So for me, again, this is my favorite Ultra Magnus I've gotten so far, you know, out of everything I own, Missing Link, the whole 9, everything considered. So let me know in your comments below. Thanks so much for hanging out. Later.